All right, hello and welcome to COM 231 Public Speaking. This is our lesson for the week of April 21st, 2020. So that means we have 3 weeks left of this course. So it's incredible to me that this time is already passed us by with doing this course, and at the same time it feels like time has been going so slow with everything going on in the world. But anyway, so our persuasive speeches are due this week, and I've seen some awesome ideas from everybody, and I'm very proud of the ideas and the questions, and it just seems like everyone really wants to do a really good job with this. So I can't wait to see your speeches, which are due uploaded to YouTube this Friday, April the 24th. And that way I can take the weekend to look at it. I can get you that feedback. I can get you the grade. And then we can head into the home stretch of working on our final speech, which is going to be our award speech. So that is 3 weeks from today, and then we will be done with the class. It is just truly remarkable that we've made it this far, and if you're watching this video, you're doing good in the class. Got 3 people with A's, and everyone that has, stuck with me and stuck with this class through these weird times that we're going through is also doing well in the class. So I've seen a remarkable improvement with everyone that has applied themselves and has shown up every week. When it was in person 10 years ago, when we were having class in person, it was not even 2 months ago, but it feels like it was an eternity ago. But you showed up, you participated online, and in this new world, you tried as hard as you could, and you kept it real. If you had issues, you let me know, and if you are that person, then you are passing this class. If you are watching this, you are most likely passing this class. So I'm very proud of you for sticking with us and for sticking with me. Now, what I wanted to do was just real quick, this is the same thing that I put up last week, and as we know, the rough draft outline that was due a couple days ago, I'm going to get you the feedback as soon as possible on that. You may already have the feedback by the time you watch this video. So our persuasive speeches and the final outlines are going to be due on April the 24th. Please try to get those in by April the 24th, end of day, if at all possible. And so that way I can, like I said, I can get that feedback back to you, and we can get that over with, and we can move on to finishing this class. Also respond to 3 of your classmates' speeches. I would look at more than that if I were you, and give good feedback. I know a lot of us gave really good feedback for the informative speech. So try to do the same here, and I'm telling you, there's going to be some really good topics. So I'm seeing what everyone is submitting, and the ideas are great. I'm very proud of you. You're thinking and you're trying, and I know with the persuasive, the whole idea of it is to convince someone to take your viewpoint on something. And I'll get into that a little bit more in a minute when I pull up the syllabus. But I know so far we've just completed informative speeches to a certain degree, whether it's a personal experience speech or any old bag speech, and then an actual informative speech. We're explaining something. So now to not only explain something, but to try to get someone to take your viewpoint on something, that's different. I'm impressed with the amount of effort that I've seen you put into it, because it is a change in mindset than what we've done before. But kind of getting ahead of myself, I will pull that up in just a minute. But real quick, all your launch pad, you've got until May the 3rd, so that's a little less than 2 weeks away, 12 days from April the 21st. So please get that done. There's no excuses. I've opened everything up to May the 3rd. Go back and do anything you haven't done so far, and go through and complete everything, okay? Don't leave points sitting on the table. Okay? All makeup work is open through May the 3rd. Don't leave anything sitting on the table. There are people, there are classmates in this class that are very good speakers, and they're leaving points sitting on the table. Life is about opportunities, and it's about taking advantage of them. So take advantage of these opportunities. And don't forget your test 3. Okay? That's going to be May the 8th. So that's a little over 2 weeks away. And then we have an award speech, and then we're done. Okay? Real quick, I wanted to pull up the persuasive speech assignment. And I just wanted to go over, I'm going to scroll up real quick. I just wanted to just show you a few things on here. So as I alluded to earlier, the purpose of the speech is to attempt to persuade the audience to change a belief, to act or to reinforce a belief, and to use persuasive speaking elements in organization to do scholarly research and to create appropriate presentation aids as applicable, as we've talked about before. Okay, so you're trying to get someone to take your viewpoint on something that deals with a change in policy. Okay, so as we talked about last week, it is to change a belief, to act or to reinforce something. And you, specifically with changing a policy, you want to get someone to take action on something. So keep that in mind when you're putting your speech together. You're trying to convince someone to do something. Okay, so that's going to require you to explain what it is that you're wanting to change. And it's going to require you to use good sources. This is why we're doing a bibliography. This is why you want a minimum of 5 outside credible sources, because this helps to make your argument, right? So keep that in mind with this. You are persuading the audience. That is the goal of this. So you're informing to ultimately persuade, to get someone to think like you do. Okay? Now, there were a few points in this persuasive speech assignment that I didn't directly discuss before, and so I wanted to bring that up today. Okay, so I changed some of this. The outline should also include a motivated sequence. It should, if that's the approach that you're going to take, and I've given you a lot of feedback on that individually based on what it is that, based on what topic that you're choosing. All right, another thing on here, there will not be an addition or deduction if you do or do not have this in the left margin. Now, regarding Maslow's hierarchy, the need you are appealing to should be in the top left corner of the outline. Okay, it doesn't have to be, because we didn't discuss this clearly before. But I will tell you that if you sufficiently reference an item from Maslow's hierarchy of needs in your speech, you can get 5 extra points. So if we look at this other item that's in yellow here, as we've discussed, electronic presentation aid is not required, but it is worth up to 20 extra points if utilized. Okay, 20 extra, 5 extra. I mean, everybody, come on. I'm giving away points here to you. They're just out there for you to grab. Okay? I've already gotten some feedback from some of us that you are planning to try and use an electronic presentation aid. So that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We talked about this in chapter 24. I just wanted to pull this up real quick, just as a reminder. This is, if you've taken a psychology class, this is a foundation of psych, really, because when you see things happening in life and in the world, and you say, well, why is that happening? And you don't understand it. And the reason is because Perhaps your physiological needs are met, so you have food and water. So because you have these needs are met, now you will be concerned about safety needs. Do I feel safe? Right? Then your social needs. You want a relationship, you want friends, you want whatever it is socially, right? Self-esteem needs. If all these are met, then you'll talk about your self-esteem. Then you want to look good. Then you want to feel good. All this stuff. And if you have all of this met, then you've got your self-actualization needs. So you want to be all that you can be in life. But if any one of these things aren't met, then you can't go on up the pyramid. So think about what's going on in the world right now. Physiological needs. If you're in a situation where you're out of a job and you don't have a way to have food on your table, this is going to be what's dominating your mind and your time. This is going to be dominating your whole life, more so than any of these things. It's not that these things aren't important, but your physiological needs have to be met before you can focus on anything else. This can explain a lot in life. When you see people that have, for example, like a substance abuse problem or something, and when that substance becomes a physiological need, when that person feels that they have to have that, it's the equivalent of food and water to them. This is why you see them put themselves in situations that might not be safe, or this is thrown out the window. Well, what do my friends or family think about this? Well, they don't care. They don't care about that. They don't care about safety, self-esteem. This will always be something in all of our minds, but it's not important when it's a physiological need, and the self-actualization is not a thing. These aren't a thing to someone when a physiological need is not being met. So I use that as an example with the substance abuse because that's, I think, an easy example for people to comprehend if this is kind of a new concept to you. So think about, this applies to so many things. So think about when you're creating your speech, can you cater to one of these things? Because this is how you get through to people, by catering to these needs. This is how you can persuade someone. Again, I've said this so many times throughout the semester, but we're in an election year, and you see these things, these types of things being mentioned all the time. These are the foundation of arguments that are being made. If you're pandering to wealthy people, right? If you're wealthy, and the chances are you have all of these things met, and so you're at self-actualization, right? That we could, there's been so many papers and so much discussion on this that I don't want to go into it any more than I already have, except to just tell you, keep this in mind when you're making your speech, because what have we talked about? You always got to understand your audience. This is part of understanding your audience. All right? Send me those persuasive speeches. I can't wait to see them. I'm very excited that we're getting to this part of the class. We're almost there. We're almost there. So thank you for sticking with me. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of your grades. The chances are, if you're watching this, you're doing very well in the class. So keep it up. We're almost there. This is the serious speech right here, and then we'll get to do the award speech and have some fun with it, okay? So thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing your persuasive speeches. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, okay? I'm here for you. All right, be safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.